Hello and welcome to the El Loco Leeds FC. This is the fan view. My name's jinderjade. He's Matt Thompson. I hope you're doing really, really well, guys. Let's talk Leeds United. Here's another episode. It's an exciting one. Matt, how are you? How's your week, mate?
It hasn't been too bad, Jinder. How's yours been?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good because Leeds didn't lose over the weekend, so it's another positive video. So yeah, looking forward to the game against Tottenham. We're going to talk a little bit about Bournemouth, and we'll touch upon Daniel Farke's press conference. And let's just go straight into it. Your thoughts, Matt, on Bournemouth? How do you think we performed?
I was very happy. Look, Bournemouth have had like the second hardest start to the season, and I thought we were going to lose. Did I predict 2-1? I think I predicted that. And 2-0. I mean, I wasn't far off, and we nearly won it 2-1. And the way we played was absolutely incredible, in my opinion, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that we pressured them well. We played really well with the ball. I actually think we looked really, really good. If anything, we deserved to win that game. And it was down to a poor decision from the referee for a free kick. And then Ampadu lost his man. So, look, it's just little bits. And if we touch up on it, I think we're going to be a hard team to beat. We're already doing all right. So, yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah, I mean, my take is just echoes what you've just said, and I did say that I wanted a draw, and we got that draw against Bournemouth, who are a fantastic side. You know, there's no doubt about it. Areola has got him; he's coached them really well. So I think getting a point, and well, we could have won it. You know, it's injury time, and could have went if we had just, like you said, the referee. Shall we blame the referee? We can on this occasion, maybe, perhaps, with the foul and whatnot. But the signs have been good. It's really, really positive to see that Leeds are making Elland Road a fortress. Now, I don't know whether this is correct, but the commentator did mention that we are 22 games unbeaten at Elland Road.
That's crazy if it's true.
If that's true,
That's
that's
crazy.
quite some time, since we've lost a game there. I don't know whether it is 22 games, but we have been quite difficult to beat. Now, in the championship, we were really, really well. We played really, really well at Elland Road, and it's nice to see that form coming into the Premier League. And even though we're only 7 games in, our biggest test, which I would say is, a Thomas Frank side coming up
Yeah,
at Elland Road on Saturday.
got to be
Thomas
there.
Frank at Brentford, where, he's one of them managers, isn't he? He's a bit of a shithousery manager, isn't he? In all honesty, but he's a good manager,
I
and
rate him very highly.
you do, don't you, Matt? You always said that you like Thomas Frank, but he got a tune out of Brentford last season and the season before that. So if you look at his work, his body of work, he made Brentford into a very capable side in the Premier League, and that's why Keith Andrews, I think, is reaping the rewards of Thomas Frank's work. And I think he's bringing that same sort of endeavor into Tottenham. So I think it's going to be a difficult game, but tell me what you think, Matt.
Do you know what? It's a hard one to even predict now because I thought Bournemouth were going to outplay us. I'm going to be honest with you. I did think Bournemouth were going to outplay us, be on the front foot quite a lot. I thought we'd be defending quite a bit. I didn't think we'd create too much. I thought we'd sneak a goal. It was the other way around. I feel like
Yeah.
we were the better team against Brentford. Brentford, Bournemouth, because we're talking about Thomas Frank. But I honestly think that I think we could maybe match them. Maybe that might sound a bit mad. Obviously, the people in the comments will probably let us know, but I think we can match them. And I've got 1-1 in my head. I've got one more. I've got 1-1 in my head, and I feel like we could. Yeah, I feel like we could match them after that Bournemouth game. I don't think Tottenham are any better than Bournemouth at the minute,
Mm,
so I
mm,
think why not? Plus, we're at home. I think we could
yeah.
sneak a draw again. What do you
Oh,
think?
it's interesting. I mean, like I said, I think we're the prediction part we usually do towards the end of the video, but I can echo your sentiments. Another point,
Mhm.
another point against a, shall we say, a top six side, Tottenham, with just go back to history. Yeah, they would be top six apart from last season, but I do think that Daniel Farke now has got less pressure on him. I can feel it a little bit because he's got that Wolves victory underneath his belt. The goals are coming in. We've scored 5 goals in the last 2 games, which we were talking about the creative part, the goals, and Longstaff scored his first goal. Let's single him out and give him some praise because Longstaff in the last few games has been really really good. Yeah, he's brought that Premier League experience. He's brought a bit of drive to our midfield, and he's doing really, really well. I don't think Anton Stack, yes, the last game out against Bournemouth, I think he was a bit shaky last game out. He was brilliant against Wolves, but it's nice to see that Longstaff actually stepped up to the plate and burdened some of the pressure that's on Anton Stack because he is our standout player. I've seen him live, Matt, at Wolves. He was a good player. He
You
is
did
a
tell
good
me
player.
how good he
You
was
know.
live. Yeah, you did tell me. You rang me and told me how good he was to watch
Yeah,
live.
he can control the ball. He's a bit of a footballer, that boy. And so if you look at Longstaff, he's chipping in, and since Ampadu has come into the middle of the park and came back into the side after his injury, that's how important Ethan Ampadu is to Daniel Farke's system. You can see that we were struggling when Ampadu wasn't with us. Since
Mhm.
he's come back after the international break, we look we look a lot better.
We look solid again. Yeah, we do. Do you know what? It goes to show as well how well we're playing because they're keeping Tanaka out. And
Yes,
we love Tanaka. Like, Tanaka's a fan favourite. He's amazing. And to keep a player like Tanaka out is crazy. And yeah, I didn't even pick up on Longstaff when you asked me about the Bournemouth game. And do you know what? I'm going to say something. And it might be like a big statement from me. But I truly think that so far this season, out of all of the transfers for all of the clubs in the Premier League, I
yeah,
think Longstaff's been doing the best out of all of them. Like, you look at all these big name signings like Isak and Jokeres and Sesko and Verts, and I haven't really heard of them. And then you got Longstaff for Leeds, and he's been amazing. So I'm really happy,
yeah.
really happy.
I've been very impressed with both of our midfielders. Even Anton Stack. Okay, he had a bit of an off game last week, but if we look at it, he's put in some really good performances and he's adapting well to the Premier League. Remember, it's only his first season in the Premier League. He's only had 7 games, so he's still trying to adjust to the pace of the Premier League and the way our sides play against. Even at Elland Road, it's a different atmosphere, isn't it? You need big players who can actually step up and wear that white shirt of Leeds because it sometimes weighs everybody down. So you need that certain caliber of player. And I think Anton Stack and Longstaff and, they're really showing their worth at the moment. Matt, I just wanted to touch on the press conference, which Daniel Farke done today in the afternoon. We've got a few injury problems for the Tottenham game. Dan James is completely out. He actually said that. And I just wanted, like I was saying before, all this pressure has been lifted off Farke's head. I think Mourinho getting his job at Benfica and Nuno has gone to West Ham. I think you can see that Daniel Farke feels a bit more confident, and you can see that demeanor in his press conference. So when he was talking about some of the questions, he did, you know, like he usually is a bit wishy-washy in the press conference. That's still happening, but there he was very, very concise with some of his answers, and so he mentioned that Dan James is going to be out for at least till mid-November, we might not even see him till December. You never know, with these injuries. But he's definitely out. There's also Gnonto. He's going to be out as well for the Tottenham game. So our two attacking threats, which are probably, Dan James usually comes off the bench, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So we're going to be missing those two. Lucas Perri, he's not going to be available for the Tottenham game either. He also mentioned that Harry Gray has picked up an injury as well in the under 21s game in midweek. So it looks like it's going to be Brendan Aronson who's going to be in the starting lineup. Possibly even Jack Harrison might be pushing for a call.
Do you know what? Look, I knew Dan James was out anyway. Sort of had a feeling about Gnonto. I was expecting Perri to still be out. The one that made me a bit gutted then was Harry Gray, because I thought, oh, is Gray going to get a bit of a chance off the bench? And then he said he's injured, and I'm like, no. Jack Harrison's, do you know what? Jack Harrison's got Premier League experience, and he done all right for her. It's like, before we got relegated, I actually think he done all right in certain games. So he could probably, I don't know, chip in a bit. You don't know, do you? So I'm not going to I don't know. I'm not going to put it down too much. I still have faith. But I think Aronson done really well the other day as well. So
he's done well against Bournemouth. Daniel Farke actually did say in the press conference that he's been impressed with Aronson, but he's always impressed with Brendan Aronson, isn't he? And to be fair, Aronson did play well against Bournemouth. So, I don't think there's going to be, the team won't be unchanged. One little thing that I am thinking is, if you're Jacobiol, how are you feeling at this precise moment? Because, he's one of our marquee signings from the summer. He's not had a look in, and that's down to Rodon and Pascal Strike. You can't mess about with them too much.
Do you know what's
They've been
crazy?
solid.
He also, when he chose Leeds, apparently there's rumours Newcastle and AC Milan wanted him, and he's at us and he's not getting game time.
Yeah.
So but look, it goes to show, like what you said about Rodon and Strike, like they're both doing really well, aren't they? So you can't change them at the minute.
Well, I think the back five, and that's called Darlow. I think Bogle has been excellent. My favourite is Goodmanson. I know he scored the own goal against Fulham, but that was a freak. That was a freak accident. It could happen to anybody. But that back four has been really, really well. They've done really well, shall I say. Bogle, Rodon, Strike, and Goodmanson. They're beginning to forge a nice little partnership. They're understanding each other, which is good, and that's what we need for Leeds to be solid in the Premier League, to be compact, to be physical, but to keep our concentration levels at the optimum speed of the match. Because Premier League football, the speed of Premier League football is on another level. I've been watching a lot of Championship this week, right? Because I don't know, Matt, I can't sort of get into the whole not playing at the midweek, because in the Championship we play Saturday, we play midweek football, then we play on Saturday again. So I was watching the Championship, and the pace is so different. The level of Championship and Premier League is so different, and you can tell. You can really tell that the boys have stepped up this season. So, you got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I agree with you. We have stepped up massively. And I just want to give a shout out to Goodmanson, because he's been class, actually. He has been so good. When Firpo went, look, I feel like Firpo left as a fan favourite. I feel like we ended up loving Firpo. And when he went, we was actually gutted.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how it was going to end up being without him in the team. And Goodmanson, what a signing. Him, Stack, Longstaff, and Okafor, so far, for me, unbelievable. I've been so happy with those signings.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know what it is with some of the the lads from Scandinavia in the past, anybody from Scandinavia, whether it's a Danish player, a Swedish player, we had Pontus Jansson,
Eric Backer,
Norwegian players, Eric Backer we had, and over Man City way they've got Erling Haaland. They really adapt well to Premier League football, to British football, and Goodmanson is a product of that type of player, and I think he's done really, really well, and I think he's doing good so far. He's made, I mean, the goal that we scored last week against Bournemouth was down to his tenacity, really. A lot of players would have, given up, but he actually won the ball back, stayed in that sort of, he tackled and somehow got the ball. I don't know who crossed it. I think, was it Okafor who went for the shot?
Okafor went for a shot, it deflected, didn't it? And then went through to Longstaff,
And Longstaff, what a finish. So, we've got that kind of grit, we've got that determination, and it's coming. It's nice to see that it's coming along nicely, and that's the main thing. And hopefully against Tottenham we can put in a good performance. Let's talk about the team. Do you think it'll be an unchanged team? I've got a feeling it will be.
Yeah, especially with the injuries now, we can't really change much. I'd say it'd be an unchanged team, and to be honest with you, I'm happy with that, because the way we've been playing, why change it if it's not broken? That's what I think.
Yeah, totally. I have to agree with you, but I think definitely Carl Darlow will be in goal, and then the four defenders that we've mentioned, and it'll be an Ampadu and Longstaff midfield, and then we've got Aronson, Okafor on the wings, and it'll be DCL up front. And DCL has been getting into the right positions. He's just not. He just was unlucky not to convert against Bournemouth, and but he's there, and he's quick, and he's leading the line well.
Wins the ball in the air really, really well. Holds it up really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, we keep him fit. It's a good signing, and it's a shrewd signing because we got him for free. That's a good thing. And also Pirro is on the subs as well, so the bench is looking quite good as well.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think DCL will start scoring goals. He will. Wait for it. Look, he didn't get called up for England for no reason. So, yeah, I think he'll start scoring goals. And do you know what? I'm happy that we're keeping Cole Darlow number one, because he's been great as well. So, yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of positives at the moment.
Yeah, it's. I think, like I said, with that Wolves victory, it gave us a good little platform to build on. We got a point against Bournemouth, unlucky not to win, and if we beat Tottenham, and according to Daniel Farke in the press conference, he's got a good record against Thomas Frank. So you never know. He's won more points than he's lost against Thomas Frank. So we'll have to watch this space. We'll find out on Saturday. So you said 1-1. I'm going to echo your sentiments, Matt. 1-1. Do you want to change?
Nah, I'm confident with 1-1. I think there's a chance.
Yeah, I think we can get a point, and then we can look at the next fixtures. That's for another video. But guys, tell us in the comments below your thoughts on Leeds this season so far, because after this there's going to be an international break, and then so tell us in the comments below your thoughts on Leeds' progress so far in the Premier League. What do you think the score will be against Tottenham? Do you agree with me and Matt? Do you reckon we're just sitting on the fence and doing just a point for us? But final words, Matt?
Do you know what? Just let's keep doing what we're doing. Take it a game at a time, and the way we're playing, if we can keep it up, I'm confident we'll be all right. Can Sunderland lose, though? That'd be all right. I'd like that if they can actually do.
Well, at the moment, Sunderland keep on They're in the top 6, aren't they? They're hunting European positions. But guys, we're going to leave the video just there. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Leeds United with myself and Matt. Like and subscribe, and we will see you on another video. Cheers, guys.